we're going to do another systems of equations because I know how much all of you love to do systems of equations. That's why you're on YouTube right now watching videos about systems of equations, because you love it so much that you couldn't leave it alone for even 1 minute. I know. I know how you guys think. Anyways, you have 4x plus 3y equals 4 and 5x plus 2y equals 12. Whenever you have a systems of equations, you're going to have two variables, like an x and a y. So you can't just solve for x or y, because otherwise you'd get it in terms of x or in terms of y. So you have to eliminate one of the numbers and in front here. So you have a 4 and a 5x and a 3 and a 2y. You either need the 4 and the 5 to be the same or the 3 and the 2 to be the same. And so what you have to do is multiply both sides by something to get one of these to be the same. In this case, the 2 and the 3 can both become 6, and in order to do that, we have to multiply this side by, let's do this side by -2, and this side by 3, because we want to get one to be -6 and one to be +6, so that we can eliminate the y's, because we're going to try to eliminate them. That's one of the easiest way to solve systems of equations. So let's do that over here. The new equation is going to be, we're going to distribute here, we're going to distribute here, and we're going to distribute here. So -2 times 4 is -8x. -2 times 3y is negative 6y, and then you have equals -2 times 8. -2 times 4 is -8, and then you have, we're also going to distribute these three. So 3 times 5 is 15x, and then we have 3 times 2 is +6y, and it's all going to equal 3 times 12. And when you do that over here, 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3, it all equals 36. And then we are going to add the two equations together. When we add them together, the -6 and the +6y cancel. And so what we're left with is 0y, and anything times 0 is 0, so it just cancels out. -8 plus 15, the difference between 15 and 8 is 7, right? And then you have to look to see which one's bigger, the 15 or the 8. Since the 15 is bigger, we know it's going to be +7, so +7x, and we know it's going to equal 36 minus 8, or -8 plus 36. So let's just do 36 minus 8. 16 minus 8 is 8, and 28, so it's going to equal 28. And in order to get x by itself, you have to divide both sides by 7. And x is going to equal 4, because 28 divided by 7 is 4. And then we need to plug it back in. This is the first half of the problem, to find x. The second half is to find y. And in order to do that, you have to rewrite the original equation. Let's write that down here. 4x plus 3y equals 4. And then we're just going to plug this number in that we found for x right here. We're going to plug that in for x right here. We're going to substitute it. So we're going to do 4, and instead of putting the x in, we're going to put 4 in, because that's what we found for x, so we're substituting that in. 3y equals 4. And we know that we have 16 plus 3y, because 4 times 4 is 16, equals 4. And then subtract 16 from both sides. And since we're doing a negative and a positive, we have to figure out the difference between 16 and 4. And to find the difference, you subtract. And so you get 12. Divide both sides by 3, and y is going to end up equaling 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then the final answer, which I'll write in black, is you have to write it in terms of the coordinates, x and y. And we know that x is 4, and we know that y is 4. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be -12, right? Because -16 minus 4, so this should actually be -4. And so this answer right here, so when we think of it in coordinate terms, this answer, x is going to be 4 and y is going to be -4. Alright? Because -12 divided by 3 is -4. And that is your final answer. Final answer. And that is how you solve systems of equations using multiplication.